Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Neil Pick Up the Fat Lab with you here in the mother fluffing house. And I was feeling a little bit down this morning when I woke up, a little bit bad. I looked in the mirror and I thought to myself, yeah, you're looking a bit old, mate. You're looking past your best. And I needed to get somebody on the phone with me who was in a similar situation, so I called my mate Engin. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Terzi in the mother. I do, mate. How's it going?
Yeah.
So, right, there's a vicious rumor that you are 100 kilos.
Yeah. Not in the morning, but in the morning it's about 97. But sometimes before I go to bed with the clothes and everything, with very near 100. Yeah.
Wow. Listen, is this
the problem is right here.
Hey. Yes, mate. You know I know about that. You know I know about that. So is this all about lockdown? Has lockdown just ruined your life, basically? Because
also I lost the motivation, or I don't know, to competing, and I don't do any cardio. I don't do any diet. I just 30 years diet, cardio, and then whenever I finalize the career, by quitting, then now I don't. Whenever you don't have a goal, I feel like a retired man. 30 years you go.
You should say that, Engin. It's funny you should say that, son. Because that's kind of the reason why you're on the call. But we're not going to get into that just yet. We will get into that, but not just yet.
Oh.
And bearing in mind that you're 100 kilos right now, and bearing in mind that you're lacking motivation, like my fine fat self, you're not competing, you're injured. Having said that though, mate, you might be injured, but your arms are looking pretty decent. I saw that picture the other day in the gym where you were working the left, and you pretty much, you've still got some game. There you go, look. And sure,
they ask me about this muscle. I don't know what it is.
Let's see. Yeah, it's to be honest, it's controlling your rotation, isn't it? But look at go from forearm. Just go from forearm.
Just here, Ronaldo is here. This is coming from somewhere here.
Excuse me. I thought you were talking. You're talking about at the bottom.
Yeah. Somewhere here, something.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about.
It seems like it's the end of the the brachialis is just coming from here. But when you look at the anatomy book, it's ending up here inside of the arm,
Great shame I don't have my technical director, Raymond Schleipins, Coach Ray, on the phone. He would have sorted that right out. But anyway, enough of that rubbish. Turn the forearm to the front, son. Look at that. You've still got it there. And go other arm. Let's have a look at this other one. Dude, that left forearm is bigger than your right.
No. This is about 1.5 centimeters bigger.
Go back again. It's out angling it big time. When you look, fair enough. It may have just been the angle. They're looking pretty similar there.
Yeah,
looking quite similar.
The brachioradialis is a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah,
what are we going to talk about today, Engin? This is how it goes down when we're in a hotel lobby. Tell me what's on your mind.
I think the first thing comes to my mind is Khalid. Yeah.
Oh, Engin, I can't believe you've done this to me. Seriously, Khalid has been. I can't believe the amount of attention that the whole situation with Khalid Joshel. Unbelievable amount of attention garnered on that young man. And to be fair, not without justification, because he's got massive potential, but I'm going to say I don't think I've ever received more personal messages to the channel, people asking my opinion on it. Unbelievable amount of interest in what. Anyway, I've gone on record. Do you ever catch the Fix Show? We do the Fix Show with Ryan Bowen, Raymond Schleipins, Paul Lynn.
No.
Okay, we do a show called The Fix, and basically we've discussed Khalid on there a lot. Mm-hmm. We talked about him, about the fact that we think he's got amazing potential. I'm going to shut up. Mm-hmm. What do you think about
You don't need to, just shut yourself up. But we can talk together. But I will just the first thing I don't understand, we all love arm wrestling. Like not only doing it, but also being part of it and watching as a fan. I am as much as a fan, as I am arm wrestler. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I wouldn't arm wrestle, I would still have, I would pay money to watch some of the guys, competing.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah. So whenever I see Khalid, I was so excited, with such a grip strength, and I see that he has a fighter spirit, and he can do transitions. It's a good thing. Even
that is the thing for me. That's the thing.
Right now, low level, but it can improve,
Yes.
But what I don't understand that I'm happy to see. I wish we would see tens of Khalids around, and then it would just change the things for our sport. But whenever I see people, they are just hate. He is a liar. He is this. He is that. I mean, where they try to reach, by doing this to him, just because they say a year ago he pulled with the Indian champion. Oh, he's a liar. He has been. I mean, someone from the street pulled me a year ago. It doesn't make him that he's non-stop training for 1 year. You understand? I mean, it doesn't mean that he's regularly training. And even if he would have been, training for 1 year, I mean, in which level he is training? He's not in US training with, Rambat or the John Berzing or Devon Narat or Ravijant or he's not in a place that has high level of arm wrestling. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I know 100% what you're saying. The guy, there's arm wrestlers and there's arm wrestlers, and Khalid is at best an inexperienced novice competitor, at best, with massive natural ability and massive potential. The interesting thing for me, I mean, I want to sort of kind of take the whole online emotion out of it to some extent, because everybody's got their opinions, and I don't really understand it a great deal. I don't necessarily understand why it's attracted so much passion, so much emotion. It could only be a good thing, but I think it could only have come from the fact that sometimes arm wrestlers, as a community, may be a little defensive of that. They want to feel like, oh, this is our thing, and other people can't come in and do our thing. And because Khalid is for me, it's like I'm the polar opposite. I want guys you said it a moment ago, when a guy like Khalid comes along into the sport, for me, that is very exciting.
Yes,
I'm thinking, it's almost like the Oleg Soit,
Yeah.
When Soit came into the sport, and you can say what you want about Oleg, oh, well, he's got unnatural advantages. I heard so many people say, well, coming out with stuff like, oh, he's got a tendon from a heel in his wrist. It's this thick. It's ridiculous. All kinds of stuff, but a lot of hate towards him, which for me,
I wouldn't hate, but
gift to do this.
Yeah, but I wouldn't hate because of that. But I also would like to say that if there was 10 Oleg Zogs in each class, nobody could make top 5. Trust me.
No. Oh God, man, Oleg's immoral. But what Oleg is a genetic freak of nature made to arm wrestle. He is just ace. I love people like that. The weirdos, the freaks, the chosen ones. Me, Khalid Jashel's just another example of that. That's all he is. He's another guy that he's got amazing potential. So what I want to see is how I want to be sat here in 5 years' time. First priority, Khalid stays with it. He's not a flash in the pan interest, you know what I mean? Because you get guys come into the sport who are amazing potentials, and then they stay with it for a little bit of time, and they show a degree of potential, and then they're like, nah, you know what, I'm going to do something else, and they move on to another sport. I really hope that Khalid thinks, yeah, I've got mega potential for arm wrestling. I love arm wrestling. and this is what I'm going to do. And he really goes at it, because I would love to see where he can go.
As far as I hear, that he will be part of the sport for a short time, but not before he does something great. This is what I hear, and I don't want to say how I hear this, but I hear this from a trustable source. But Neil, like you and I, we have been part of this sport for 30 years, and like we have always been thinking that there are guys outside that, they have never heard of international arm wrestling. And we were always like wondering, what if they would get involved, how the things would. Yeah. So it is good that now we are reaching more people. I can say that it's mostly, because of Devon that, he's doing a lot of social media thing that, a lot of people get involved, and he involves people like Larry Wills, to the sport, and then through all this, we are reaching other people. But I don't understand it. Like some people are discouraging these people. No need to discourage these people. Yeah. Like we need to welcome them.
Big time.
Like, we need bigger competition. We need bigger competition. I will tell you something, especially for the heavyweight class, we need a tougher competition. Since especially they are divided to PAL, WAF, and WL, and then we really need more people. Whenever I watch him, last time he pulled, maybe a few days ago, we pulled with a strongman or something, one guy.
It wasn't, not Kettle, Sachev.
Khalid pulled with him,
Yeah, he was giant Russian kid, Kettle.
Yeah,
mate, he's mad strong. He's crazy strong. Really famous strength athlete. Iron.
Yeah, but Khalid was just holding him like this and then just playing with him,
Well, also, I haven't seen the footage, but I understand. Number one, Kettle obviously doesn't arm wrestle. He has arm wrestled. I mean, Alex Bezaikov, schoolboy brother, has pulled with him, went over and pulled with him a little. Just playing, teaching him in a very similar way to the kind of exposure that Larry Wheels has had. But as I understand it, Kerrell went over, pulled a little bit with Larry, and then like the day after, he went and he pulled with Khalid. Very similar to what Michael Todd did. Michael Todd went over there, pulled everybody in the world, and then pulled Khalid the day after. They're trying to get footage.
Not everybody. Like 4 or 5 guys from United Arab Emirates.
More like 25, as I understand it.
I saw like 5, 6 guys there, and they
a lot more than that, mate. I think it was like 20.
I have never seen them at the world stage.
No. Mate, I'm not saying that. But Michael, it's not that.
My point.
You imagine Kettle.
Neil, my point wasn't that Khalid is so great or not. But what I saw that Khalid was not just like pressing like this, but he was just doing like a, hand control. You understand? I think that he is strong enough to have a great hand control, and looks like he's also smart enough to do that. You understand?
He may be strong enough to have the best hand control.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Yes.
If the man number one, you talk about the size, the dominant hand.
Yeah.
His hand is huge.
Yeah.
The feats of strength that he's able to do, again, with minimal understanding, practice, exposure to them, is things like the 3.5 captains of crush, the millennial dumbbell, stupid feats of strength, ridiculous feats of strength. That is abnormal power in those areas. So if he is able to get the technical nuance down of arm wrestling, I think he could end up with a hand and wrist that eclipses all. I think his hand and wrist could be
So also, here is strong, but not like here is nothing. He's also strong on the upper arm too. Because whenever I see that, Michael was just getting up and hitting him like this, he was also blocked at the beginning. Later he gets tired because Michael is just master of his own game. And then it is not possible to start having a war with him and then just staying fresh, if you don't know how to finish him. So I'm just saying that, John Berzing always says that, the most important part of arm wrestling, starts from the here, and then it goes down to your body, So here is the most important. So Khalid has here. So it is easier part to build the rest. When you have here, the rest is much easier. And when you have hand and wrist so strong, and then whatever behind is will be as effective as possible. But whenever you have strong here and then here weak, you won't be representing here when the hand is weak. You understand?
Correct.
So
Absolutely.
You have the hand to represent. To make what is behind it so effective.
Well, to sort of encapsulate it in a small statement, for most people, the hand and wrist, for most strong people, the hand and wrist is the weakest link.
Mm-hmm.
For Khalid Joshel, the hand and wrist is potentially the strongest link.
Yes.
So the majority of the people that he arm wrestles, he's going to be able to close down with some technical tuition. He's going to be able to shut their game down with that, Going to be able to close it down. So if he can prevent access to his arm, which it's possible to do with that kind of hand and wrist control, if he can prevent access to his arm, and he's got a little bit of speed and explosivity, holy shit.
I tell you what, if he knew how to pull, in some amount of time, he has even chance to beat Michael Todd.
He's got a chance to beat a hell of a lot of people. Michael, for me, is...
I'm just saying, it's hard to beat Michael Todd. It's hard to beat Michael Todd because, not you being strong is not enough to beat him.
No, he'd have to have good, really, really solid strength through the elbow as well to beat Michael, because of the fact that Michael, for me, is actually one of the harder men for him to beat, as would be Jerry Caderet, because Michael has the ability to make it so that the hand is not really a thing. It doesn't matter. But I think, for me, his ability to beat a lot of other very high-level arm wrestlers whose game revolves around controlling the hand and wrist, the pronator, very much top rollers. I think most top rollers is going to be a horrific match for a top roller.
It is easier, Khalid, to beat the technical guys, outside technical guys. It is hard to control him. Most likely he will control them because his grip is so strong, and people think that he's not as strong as other people think. But from whatever I see, he is very strong.
Oh, ridiculous! Because he's not even using it yet. That's the thing. It shows just how strong he must be, because he's not really utilising he's not using his body into there. He's not shaping his approach to it is very rough, and yet he's still getting amazing results. So he is a beast.
Neil, I will ask you something. Why some people doesn't see what you and I see, and Michael see, and the Devon sees?
I think probably just inexperience, Engin. It's as simple as that. I think in any, a lot of people are coming into the sport and they haven't got that level of experience, and they haven't been to the sort of the depth of the sport yet. They're just learning. And what's good about this is it's creating a lot of passion and enthusiasm for the sport of arm wrestling. If somebody's taking the time out to go and write a comment on YouTube, or whether or not they understand it fully, it doesn't really matter. It's just the fact that they're bothered enough, they care enough to go, no, I either love Khalid or I don't like Khalid or whatever. Just the fact that they give a shit, just the fact that they are concerned enough is a good thing for arm wrestling, And Khalid's involvement, why I'm so excited about Khalid's involvement, is it's another potential phenom. A guy that, in a couple of years, with the right tuition, sets up a raft of really exciting new matches. Oh, how would Khalid do with Jerry Caderet? How would Khalid do with bloody Vitaly Lalatin? How would Khalid do with, and their list goes on, because those men in a few years would be within his conceivable reach. If he stayed with the sport for 2 to 4 years, why not? Why can't he reach that level?
I don't want to be misunderstood, I am not saying that I'm not telling this to you. You understand me, but maybe people who will watch this, maybe they get me wrong. I'm not saying Khalid is the world level puller right now.
No.
We only talk about the potential. We are talking about the potential.
Potential only.
Khalid would do anything to Michael now, or do Laletin now,
no.
or Jerry now.
No
he doesn't have any experience. He's not well-rounded enough. He's not coordinated enough. But we're talking about someone who has potential. I don't care if he has been doing this for 1 year. You can't find people who has been doing this for 1 year or 2 years to be as effective as he is.
The way I liken it is diamond.
They need to understand also this. Spending 2 years with Engin, spending 2 years with Neil, spending 2 years with Devon, spending 2 years with John is not same as spending 2 years in United Arab Emirates. You understand? No. I don't disrespect anyone. But whenever people judges the time that they say, 1 year he is doing this, it doesn't mean anything. No. Where you are doing this, that is with me, in 1 year, maybe you can go a lot. But
a lot.
You need to understand that if people is around, like, I'm sure they are knowledgeable people, but if they were very, 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 very knowledgeable people, we would also see those people or their students at the world level. So if we don't see anything there, it means that the level that part of it is not so high. So what I'm just saying that, with time, with the good hands, or just let Cobra train him. Yeah. Let Gashevsky train him. Let Yanis Amolis train him. It doesn't have to be me or you. But much, 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 much better than how he is.
The reality of the situation is as well, it would come down to how fully and how possible it is for Khalid to immerse himself in the sport. The access that he has to multiple opponents, credible opponents, so he's building up slightly, getting a little more experience with this kind of arm wrestler, this kind of arm wrestler, this kind of arm wrestler, and he gets access to that sort of stable of talent over a long period of time. Because with the best intention in the world, if you went over, I went over, Yanis went over, Devon, John Brasink, take your pick. If they go over and they train him, the theory and the technical theory of arm wrestling, it's still empty without practical appliance. Yes. He needs to be able to apply that over a period of time.
Yes. He needs experience, a lot of experience. Experience of the training. I'm talking about the table time. But first, experience of the maybe some other type of trainings, which I call assistant trainings with the weights or rubber bands and this and that. And also he needs to understand what the sport is. And then, but he seems to me a smart guy, whenever he's pulling. Of course, he is not great, but I'm just saying for someone, who just showed up from United Arab Emirates, this guy is just to me, very, very smart guy that he's just jumping, transition for the shoulder press, and he goes sideways, he goes under table. And then whenever I see him last time, he was not even moving, just holding like this, and then he could even pronate. So, once he understands that, everything is just controlling here and here, then trust me, everything will be much easier for him. But again, Neil, you, in your prime years, I remember, you didn't miss Europeans, you didn't miss wars, you didn't miss a high-level event in the United States. I was a good puller before I go to U.S. But whenever I go there, I was just in Nevada or Nebraska, New York, California, there, every week going pulling 5, 6, 7, 8 classes. Yeah. And then, every time you pull a tournament, American pullers, maybe at the WAF level, maybe they are not right now ahead or not even at the level of the Kazakhs or the Georgians or something. I'm not talking about heavyweights, but 90 kilo and under. But in a technical way, Americans are still one of the best, if not the best in the world. They are very technical pullers. There's a look at those, even the old pullers, just because we all learn from the Americans. We need to admit this, that, that
without doubt. It's the motherland of technique.
Yeah, of course, we also improved it. We also added a lot of things to it. But at the beginning, we learned from them, from Cobra, from John, Bert Whitfield, and Jerry Jennings, and all of them we watch and learn. Yeah. So I'm just saying that
Ryan Shea, Wayne Burns, all these guys that nobody speaks about, you know, and yet they were George Givens, bloody John Woolsey.
Yeah, Johnny Walker.
So Johnny, I mean, my God, so many of them. There were so many. John Bonanato, lots of guys that people never talk about. Yeah. But were excellent arm wrestlers. I mean, we were talking the other day on a show about Chad Silvers, okay? Yeah. One of my earliest memories.
They are 50 years old. They are 50 years old, but they are still top guys there.
Oh, big time. And I used to, I mean, I was saying, I was watching Chad Silvers in Athens, Greece, I believe it was. Was it Israel? You know what? It might have been Tel Aviv.
Israel.
It's Israel, at the sit-downs.
He was 60 kilo left arm.
Hey, I was literally watching the guy thinking, wow, what a fabulous arm wrestler. You know, guys now, I mean, whoever talks about Les Wims? People ain't going to come up and, if you say to a lot of arm wrestlers today, talk about Leslie Wims, they're like, who? Leslie Wims, bad mother. You know what I mean? You wind the clock back to a lot of these guys, they were badasses. They could pull.
If you come to my point that, you know, after I went to US and pulling many tournaments, that is how I better myself with those experiences. So I pulled a lot of tournaments. I was already strong, but there I learned a lot. And then I was just a 62 kilo guy. And then when I started pulling up to heavyweights in some events, and usually up to 90 kilo easily I was pulling, then whenever I was coming back to European and World Championships, the guys in my category was so easy to me. You understand? So my point is that, you know, if Khalid would start if you imagine Khalid is moving to US and then compete in tournaments and then
immersed himself in the sport. Yeah, immersed himself.
Yeah, and having a good training partner group, you understand?
Needs to get his ass to Canada and join the high hookers and pull him with Evans' crew. Big crew.
I don't know. I wouldn't want him to pull like this, but I would prefer more like, you know, somewhere near John, you know. John
anywhere that guy gets where he's exposed to many styles of arm wrestling, different opponents, strong opponents.
Yeah.
He can excel, but he would need to, and this is my only concern for the guy in terms of his ever realising his full potential. It's just whether he wants to, because, you know, it's the 10,000 hour rule. My sons ride trials motorcycles, okay? And there's a guy called Tony Bow. And if you look at Tony Bow is the best trials motorcycle rider of all time. But Tony Bow has obviously got a natural propensity for excellence in that area, in that environment. But Tony Bow is still the guy that every day, 2-3 hours a day, he's on the bike training every possible angle. You know, he is training it, drilling it, working it. It's just whether Khalid wants to do that. Khalid may or may not love arm wrestling. I don't know how much. I don't know Khalid, so that's what it comes down to. You spoke when we did your interview, mate, and you just raised the point a moment ago. Myself and you, one of the things that we did have in common is we were obsessed, still are, obsessed with the sport of arm wrestling. So, you know, I've talked about it quite a bit recently. I had periods of my life when I believe I was probably, without making a silly claim, I genuinely believe I was the most active, high-level arm wrestler on earth. Because of the fact that I was fortunate enough to have enough resource to invest in myself, and sponsors would give me money but I didn't want to do anything else. All I wanted to do was go and arm wrestle. If the weekend was coming on the Tuesday night at work, I'd be thinking, where's there a competition? Is there a competition in one of the Baltics, in one of the Scandies? I didn't give a where it was. I'd go anywhere, because all I wanted to do was arm wrestle. And after the tournaments, I mean, I remember when we were in India, you know, in Assam, India, we were over there, and after the competition's finished, there's me, Kenai, Abdullah, Cobra, bloody Niazi the Wolf, my boy. pulling. We didn't stop for hours. We're there at the back of the stage. They're trying to give out the medals and awards, and we're just pulling all day. That's what it was about. We never stopped.
Yeah. Yes.
You know? Does he love it that much? I don't know.
Yep. Let's see how it will be, you know. I hope that, you know, things will be better next year and people can start competing again internationally. I don't know how it will go, but do you think that next year will be open by spring?
I think it's largely dependent on the vaccine, mate.
Yeah.
I'm honest.
Yeah.
Access to you know, number one, the effectiveness and access to the vaccine, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but I hope, you know, touch wood, that the vaccine is effective, safe, and that it goes out to a very wide number of people in a lot of countries, and we can get this thing rolling again. But I really don't know, mate. I don't know. I would love to think that it's going to be fine.
Yeah. We thought that right now the things look worse than last year this time. I mean, not last year this time, but it started by like March or February, March. But right now it is the worst time, I believe. But if the medicine comes like that, and then yeah, I think that it will be better.
It's a terrifying thought and a depressing thought for many people, I would imagine, to feel like we could be here in the end of next year and still be in and out of lockdowns internationally, and that would be terrible. God, it would be awful. But human history examples of for people, and just another one of them. It's the first one in our sort of living memory that globally we've been through. But it's something we've got to just try and continue to keep your heads up and keep walking forward. It's like the old Winston Churchill thing. If you know you're going through hell, keep going. What are you going to do?
Okay, if we continue talking about arm wrestling, do you see people who are giving you so much hopes, you know, about the future, athletes that, you know, really exciting you? Did you see that?
Yeah,
I wrote four guys there. Did you see that or not?
No. Who were you for?
Like the arm wrestlers that I really enjoy, you know, watching. Yeah. I wrote there Gasparini, I wrote Prudnik, I wrote Irakli, and I wrote Tarasaitis, Mindagos Tarasaitis.
Four pretty good ones right there.
Good. And control and topple, huh?
What about Daniel though? God damn Daniel, I love Daniel.
You mean Mosier?
No.
Which one?
The Daniel dude. Little Daniel. Yeah. Listen, there is no other Daniel. There is no other Daniel. Daniel for me is like Cobra. There's only the dude with that name. That motherfucker, you don't need... That is a mega little arm wrestler.
Yeah, he won 2 left arm world titles, and then I think last year he didn't do well at the WAF, and I don't know how he will do this year, but we will see.
I think he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic.
He just pulled recently with Vioral Dobrin, and Dobrin beat him right arm, and left arm he beat him, but Dobrin took his wrist. Very long match, and then Daniel often is losing his wrist, but
he doesn't care.
He's still strong here, yeah.
He's a little horse. He's mega. I love him. I think Daniel's one of the most exciting, well-rounded talents in the world. Obviously, Mindaugas, I know you're a big fan.
Not so much well-rounded. I mean, in competition.
Well, I think well-rounded.
You just see him hook or dead wrist.
That's his go-to, but he can go anywhere, mate. Daniel's got a lot of...
Listen, the training, yes, I see. But in the competition, like, I don't see him pulling with Cherkez on top rolling him or something, or pulling with Mindagos at top rolling him.
What about me and you? How often did you go diving into a hook straight off the bat? You could do it. You did.
I don't call myself well-rounded. I won even 2 world titles in a hook. In the final.
Yeah.
Against the hook pullers. And one of them was Grigoriev. When I say Grigoriev, people says, who is that? You know who Grigoriev is.
Most badass lefties ever. Bad motherfluffer.
Yes,
now then, let me tell you closer to home. We're talking about people that excite you. Okay. Number one, Korchak from your country. Yeah. I don't know how good that dude is yet, because I'd love to see him tested against other people, even some of the people you've talked about there. I mean, someone like Ongobayev. He run through Kochek? I don't know.
I don't know. But listen, I will tell you something. Kochek, one of the best genetically gifted guys for his weight class I have ever seen.
He's mega.
And he was already strong. He was already world champion. He went to Europeans 2017, and he was in Zolev's class. He took 5th or 6th. And then he came to Yalova for 3 months for the trainings he came. And I teach him everything I know about arm wrestling. Everything. I teach him more than anyone else. And then that year he won the WOS easily. I think Zolev even took 4th place in his class. And then now he continues training by himself. But right now, I think he's I don't know. I don't know in 100 kilo anyone can beat him. Maybe if both are the same weight, 100 kilo, Prudnik. Prudnik beat him in the Zloty. He top rolled him. But I don't know if anyone else can beat him in 100 kilo. I don't even know if Hutchings can beat him. I don't think so.
It's interesting, isn't it? I'd love to see. I mean, that's a great match.
In 100 kilo, maybe also Gasparini. Maybe if they both are the same weight, maybe Gasparini can topple him. Maybe.
Can Hermes beat Todd?
What's that?
Can Hermes beat Todd Hutchins? Right arm.
Possible, yeah. Because we were thinking that Gasparini was all about top, and then whenever he pulled with Michael Todd, we saw that when he brings him near to the pin pad and then
rolled around for the press.
So he's not only about top roll. So I cannot say that he cannot beat him. I think he will beat him. I believe so.
Well, he's got the speed, hasn't he? What for me? What gives Hermes a shot at least there? I've actually got probably Hutchins as the favourite, if I'm honest. But what I think gives a real shot for Hermes would be the speed, that influx of speed, because that's an acid weapon to use against Hutchins. A match I'd love to see, and it was actually slated. Gasparini ended up pulling Matt Mask, but he was originally slated to pull Marcio. Now that's a match I wanted to see. I just think I like that match stylistically. I like that match.
Did you know that Hermes had surgery and had something like a platin or something on his plate, on his wrist, and then now they took it, I think, as far as I know. Yeah. So I'm just saying that his hand and wrist probably now is much stronger than the time that he pulled with Matt. And I think, yeah.
I think, to be honest, Matt and Hermes, I know there's some bad blood there. They're both excellent arm wrestlers, and I think they would always go backwards and forwards. I can understand why Matt Mask and why Matt Mask hadn't originally been slated to pull Hermes is because Matt is the kind of arm wrestler that, just because of his physicality, can dismember Hermes' style, particularly in a Wild West setup. So just because of the length of arm, just because of the leverage, I actually prefer Hermes and Marcio as a match, as a stylistic match. I think that's a really entertaining, interesting match, and I'd love to see that. Whether it'll happen.
Hermes will topple him.
What about Hermes and Ongobayev?
I think Hermes will beat him as well.
Another good match, though, isn't it? I like that match.
I saw them pulling left arm. I think Hermes
right hand.
I know, but Hermes also has better right arm. As long as it's not injured, his right arm is also better.
I like Ongobayev and Hermes on the right. I really do. I think that's a good pull.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite arm wrestler in the world at the moment? Who's the one? Who's your favourite arm wrestler in the world?
That's Gasparini, probably.
Yes.
I mean, I love the hand control and the dominance and the pronation and everything that he has hand and wrist, I see the quality of John, when he uses his hand. I see that the hand, I'm a fan of hand control. For me, arm wrestling is all about just controlling your opponent's arm with your wrist flexor and then enabling his wrist with your pronator. I mean, this is
why you love Mindaugas so much.
Yeah, that is why, he's also good, as long as Mindaugas is great, as long as he's not pulling against me,
Talk to me about Vlad the Destroyer.
I mean, he has also very solid, top roll, very strong guy. Yeah. But
great
maybe,
explosivity as well.
Yeah, but his wrist use is not so quick. He's just more like brachioradialis, like solid hand and wrist, but it's static mostly. And I don't see his wrist being so quick.
No.
Like
and he's not got great levers either, which is great. I love that.
But I don't see Yanis's wrist as solid as Vladislav's wrist. But Yanis has a quicker hand and wrist.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah,
he's using, so he is reaching his 0 to 100 quicker than Vladislav. But, if Vladislav is just like tight enough, strong enough, and then the quick move that comes from Yanis is not enough to control him, then I think that Vladislav is stronger.
Exactly. I believe because Vlad has more confidence in his power. Yanis doesn't necessarily have the same degree of confidence in his power. He's got confidence in his ability to move and ability to find a gap. Vladislav doesn't really respect the fact that he needs that gap. I think Vladislav's so confident in his power that he's going to attack on one plane and just pray for the best. He's not necessarily as diligent in terms of...
He doesn't have the ability that Yanis has. We don't know that.
No. But Yanis, let's be honest, Yanis, as he's aged, he's evolved. He's a much, much better arm wrestler than he... Maybe not as strong because he's got wear and tear on his arm, but really, really evolved. His game has evolved very, very well, and he's much more well-rounded now and more confident to try other things in match scenarios than he'd ever been. Certainly that was evident in his World Arm Wrestling League career. And he's improved his hook a great deal. He's improved his access to the press a great deal. Really good arm wrestler.
Yeah, he's full package, just he has almost everything. He knows how to fight against any guys, and he knows how to pull in every situation, he knows it. As long as he's strong enough, he will survive, But if he's dominated, then there's nothing to do with it, you understand?
Now, let me talk to you about something, Engin. Because we're now about 42 minutes into the show. That is like way, way, way too long for me to let this lie anymore. I've got an event coming up. Let's just say that we get past COVID, okay? Mm-hmm. And Arm Wars comes back to the Arnold Classic UK, October 1st to October 3rd, 2021, and the NEC.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a 90-kilo version of Engin Terzi coming in and pulling someone like Daniel Mosier, Vlad the Destroyer, Paul Lynn, that kind of guy? How do you feel you do at that kind of weight class, and is that interesting to you at all?
No, it is interesting, it is interesting, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I would pull, yeah.
Is it more interesting at that weight, or is it more interesting to drop to 75/80 kilos, and let's be honest, 80 kilos is probably somewhere you'd need to be, and pull in left hand against someone like Tom Holland? Which is more interesting? A 90-kilo match? I know which I'd frigging take, let me tell you right now. I'd be all over the 90-kilo match, because losing that much weight, that's just me, and I like a pie.
I will tell you honestly, Neil. Right now, I gained so much weight, and like my neck, my lower back, elbow inside, outside, brachialis, I am injured all over. Now, if I ever come to a shape to pull someone, it will be Artur Makarov, and that is whom I want to pull against. Yeah,
you want that one loss back.
Yes, I want to pull it. Yeah. Other than that, if I pull Artur, I will find a sponsor only for him, for money award and for his expenses. I will not ask any single coin for me, because I will not pull for money. But other than that, if I'm gonna pull somewhere, I mean, I need to have a good reason. Like, like I would like to, if I'm gonna pull, listen, I can't pull more than once or twice a year because like I get it's so hard for me to like, I get in very good shape. One small mistake, I get injured.
Yeah.
You know, like 2 months ago, I was in maybe 3 months ago, incredible shape I was. And then, one guy came from US to visit Turkey with his girlfriend, arm master, I'm not going to say the name. And he said he wanted to join the training. Mm-hmm. And he was in Istanbul, we are in Yalova, there is a sea bus from here to there. Yep. So he missed the training because he forgot the passport at hotel. So he had to go back to hotel, come back, and then so he came 3 hours after the training.
Oh, so okay.
We were like 3 hours pull, and then he came, he wanted to pull. I was just like exhausted. So he was just doing like this, and I thought he was getting grip. You know, I was just like, and he suddenly hit my arm. I catch him, bleeding, but whenever he hit me, I get injured from here. So I'm just saying, you know, like it is so small mistake, I'm injured again. You know, I must not make any mistake. I am really walking on a rope.
Nice. Yeah, mate, I know exactly. Believe me, I know exactly what you're talking about. I feel like my elbow's made of glass.
Yeah, and the thing is, the time that I am close to be injured again, the time that I am in very good form, because you are coming near to your limits, you understand? And then you are like, yeah, and then if you go a little bit more than you should, and then you get injured again. But whenever I am like lightweights, high reps, no worry to get injured. But if you really push your limits, then you get stronger. But at that time, the possibility of being re-injured is higher. So that is why I'm saying that I will pull once or twice a year. So for now, if I get in shape, I would pull Arthur. And other than that, I really need a very, very good reason to pull someone. Either there should be a good prize money award, or it should be someone that, you know, I mean, if I beat, I will prove that I am the best or something instead.
Okay. So who exactly, let's say, for example, you've got a guy with massive momentum behind them. Who's got that? I mean, right now, you'd have to say Daniel Mosier actually does have that.
Yes,
Daniel Mosier is pulling his balls off. He's doing really, really good things.
If you let that guy hit you, I mean, you will get hurt. I will get hurt. So I really need to, you know, get
would that be the kind of match that would excite you? Mosier, right-handed, over 6?
It depends on the conditions again, you know. It depends on, like, again, you know, it needs to be somewhere, like who is right now the best guy? Like, for example, like Samusha is the best guy. Maybe the Bojidar from Bulgaria, like he also world champion athlete, you understand? So if I'm gonna pull once or twice a year, like I would like to really do something that, you know, other people usually, I mean, cannot do it. You understand?
Yeah,
like, it needs to be like, you know, whenever I'm not eating what I want, I need to know that, okay, Engin, you must not eat because there is something, you know, more important than food right now. You understand? Like after 30 years, because I'm sick of dieting. And whenever I'm going to do cardio, I'm laying on the couch and you need to get up and do cardio. No, yeah, but you need to beat this guy. You understand? It's really important. You know, when I'm not doing any like showing off or something, but when you have so many titles and 30 years of pulling, you don't really have so much motivation to, unless, you know, like Arthur for me is like, I really need to, Arthur is a great guy. Like, yep. I mean, Arthur as great as person as he's as an athlete, you understand? And I have nothing personal with him, but I really would like to pull him. So it is not the matter against him, but a matter against some of my countrymen that they were like haters, you know, they were happy whenever I lost against him. So I really like, it's a matter of honor for me to pull against him. Even if I lose, I'm going to take the risk, you understand?
Sure.
Yeah. But other than that, in US, like who would like to pull? I mean, I don't know. Do you think that John Brzing will pull top 8?
I don't know. John changes his mind a great deal, but
I would pull the best of Wild. Who is the best of Wild? Rob Visions, 90 kilo.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, arm wars, that makes me like, if I beat him, I'm going to prove something. Or if Daniel Mosier pull with him, you think that he cannot beat
Daniel
Rob?
If they meet, I've got Rob. I think Rob will win. But Daniel represents a major threat for someone like Rob. Doesn't have his head screwed on. I think Daniel, my opinion of Daniel is his no-load start is lethal. He's very, very aggressive, hitting style. And if you try to hang on to Daniel at all, then he will beat you. He's a very, very puzzling arm wrestler for a lot of people. And every credit to the guy, he's sharpened his game, and he's pulling really well at the moment. He's in a purple patch. Who knows what he can achieve? It'll be interesting. I think my only concern for Daniel would be that if the match was to stop, I've not seen Daniel do too well in wars before.
Yeah.
So he has to stop the match. He has to finish the match, which maybe he would.
You're talking about Rob versus him, right? Yeah. He needs to either flash him or he's gonna lose most likely.
Correct. If he doesn't flash him every round, he's gonna lose.
I don't want to be misunderstood. Also, I want to clarify. You said that, Vladislav and Daniel, and you said that Pauline, those three guys. Whenever I said that, I would like to pull against someone that, that if I beat him, I'm going to prove something that, I'm best or something, Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that I can beat those three guys. Those three guys.
It's just that you don't.
May very well beat me, I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm not saying that I'm better than. Most likely they are better than me. So I'm not just saying that my level is higher or something. I'm just saying that if I'm going to really, really try for something, I would like to hit to the top guy, even I lose or win.
Yeah. You'd rather die trying to climb Everest.
Yeah. I just try to like choose the best guy. You understand? Yeah. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah. But if you want someone, like I think that if you do the arm wars, you should involve guys like for example, Irakli. Let's take Irak. Irakli is right now 95 kilo guy.
Yeah, but the issue with Irakli for me is purely and simply for what I'm trying to achieve and for what I'm doing, is that he is such a high level.
Oh.
The air is too rare. He's almost.
Those three guys you mentioned?
Sorry, Cam.
Do you think that he would beat those three guys you mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This part I wanted to know why because this guy is good. Yeah.
Yeah, Irakli's he's really he's really good. And that's no disrespect to any of the men that I mentioned there. As you say, I just think.
I mean, he would beat you and I as well.
Oh God. Basketball slap the piss out of me, dude.
There is nothing to be, like to be offended. You understand? It's just like it is what it is. The guy is good. But I would like you to just involve a guy like Gasparini. Like, how about you asked me about Gasparini? Anything on your plan? I mean, in your head, him versus Hutchins or something?
WAL, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Marcio Bobo's the first. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I think, no disrespect to Marcio, I kind of think that Gasparini will topple him, but you never know because
you never know. Marcio's serious.
Marcio has very strong back pressure, and then he has a very good side hit after the back pressure.
Marcio is Marcio, like yourself, can be focused, can be a very, very dangerous opponent, and I'd like to see it. I think when Marcio sometimes brings his A game when he's running uphill, and I think he maybe would want that match very much,
Yeah. Let's see how it will be. Usually, why you never thought of like lately Hutchins versus Marcio? Because usually they have wars, as far as I remember.
It's just been done a few times, and I think there are other matches for both men. There's a plethora of other matches for. I want to get more. It'd be nice if there was more match opportunities for these guys.
Yeah.
And see new guys come in. I think there's a lot of interesting matches out there. And I would like to experiment with a few of those, and we'll see what ultimately it's all down to what is the opportunity in 2021. When are we able to start arm wrestling? I mean, normally the WAL season would hopefully start around April, May. Are we even going to be done with the pandemic by then? I don't know. I don't know.
I told you about Bulgarian Bozidar. You know him, right?
Oh yeah. My God, yeah.
That guy, I just remember, this guy is about like, he just had a super match with the Kazakh guy, world champion Kazakh guy, beat him 5-1. And Bozidar is also, he was 79 kilos, so he is not so far from making 75. And he speaks very good English as well, you know. If you are thinking about, you know, while, you know, I think that you also care about some English speaking, right?
Definitely. But in that weight class, he's too good. He's too good.
Nah, I don't know. Like, he is about this 75, 77 kilo. Mm-hmm. Both Yanis and Mindaugas could cause problems to him.
Oh, Mindaugas, yeah, but Mindaugas isn't there yet. Mindaugas, yeah, that's interesting.
It will be very hard to topple Mindaugas, trust me.
Oh yeah, it's very hard to beat Mindaugas. And, yeah, you don't need to tell me that one. No, Mindaugas is an animal. And he will be involved in 2021 should 2021 allow arm wrestling. There's no doubt about that. But we'll keep in touch over these next few episodes, and I'm going to keep, once you see the Arm Wars event start to take shape, there'll be a lot to talk about, let's just say that.
Yeah, maybe you and I, we continue keeping in touch, and then maybe if you really think something about me for the Arm Wars, then I would let you know. Maybe, as you said, maybe I go down to 80 if I can and pull Tom, lefty. I think he beat Mindaugas, right?
Yes. Yeah, he won 6-0.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's all. I think you want to
Planted the seed! Planted the seed, Engin. Get the boat, dude.
No, let them get
Let's get over that.
One more question. Are you planning to involve Res?
No.
Why?
Not yet.
Why?
Not yet. Just a mix of guys. Listen, honestly, there's no reason why. Res is unbelievable.
Yes.
Would he fit in there? Absolutely. Can he arm wrestle all day? Absolutely. Does he speak English? Not a Kim word.
I think he has been there for more than 1 year.
He probably has a basic understanding. I'd love to hear him speak English good now. And maybe he's changed and maybe he does. But will Vrez be involved? Maybe next year. Who knows? If he's fluent English speaker, do I love Vrez? Do I rate Vrez? Yeah. Vrez is, mate. Vrez is on the boat, dude.
How about
pretty like over there, spreading seed.
Like who could pull him left arm under 90 kilo?
Who could pull him?
Hutchins?
Yeah, Todd could pull him under. Yeah, Todd could pull him. I mean, it's who could pull him, who could beat him are two different things, aren't they? You know, two different things. Pull him, make him work, but he's the guy that might soak up a bit of pressure and then beat you. But Rez is really, really strong. He's rock solid. There's no questioning Rez. A lot of the time with match selection, it's not because of the fact that the guy can't arm wrestle. I have too many arm wrestlers to choose from for that discussion. It's as simple as that. I can sit down at home and I've got 100 dudes who are brilliant arm wrestlers. That ain't it. What I'm looking for, forget arm wrestlers, forget names, forget faces, I'm looking for matches. That's what I'm after. Matches. Nothing more. And I know that I've got that. I know that
you look the best guys as well, you know. I mean, your WAL winners are the best of North America.
Mate, they are. Yeah. Anybody who says that the guys that are pulling in WAL aren't strong, shut the fuck up. They're really good. You know what I mean? Oh my God, I get that so many times. Guys saying, look, the guys in WL aren't strong. They're not. Come on.
Nobody says that. I'm just saying that you don't care about the names, but you care about the name Devon, Michael, Todd, Tata Chings, Rob Vigent, you care about the names.
I do, but what I'm saying is, just to sort of clarify what I'm saying, it's not the ultimate, the ability is not the ultimate consideration for the sport right now. It isn't. It just isn't. Some of the ultimate pullers in our game are very, very hard to match up. Let me tell you now. Case in point, and I'm conscious we're running out of time now. We're at the hour mark, so we'll continue this. Keep this in your mind, son. Next time we come on, we'll pick this up again. Maybe on In the Presence of Greatness, which we'll be doing shortly. But if I name a few names for you, okay? Dave Chaffee, Levan, Vitaly Lalatin, Irekli, any of these guys.
Irekli?
Yeah, you're Irekli.
Not Irekli.
Yeah, different pronunciation, mate, but that's what.
Yeah.
All those guys we've talked about today, okay?
Yeah.
Now, they are hard to match up. You might find that there are 4 or 5 guys in the world that potentially can have a match with those guys. Then, you've got a massive amount of other things to overcome. People always talk to me about, it's like that, Michael Todd versus... Yeah, that's fine in fantasy land. But the fact of the matter is that one of those guys is with the Professional Arm Wrestling League. The other one of those guys is with the World Arm Wrestling League. They are trying to maximise the amount of money that they can make and all these other things. I don't even want to get involved with that.
Neil, do you regret that? You said Gasparini versus Matt Mask since the match is finished in 3 seconds?
No, I didn't make that match.
You didn't make?
No. Let's be absolutely clear. A lot of people have a lot of twisted ideas, right? And this is a fact. I did not make the match between Matt Mask.
Who made it?
I made a match between Marcio Barbosa and Hermes Gasparini. Marcio Barbosa got injured with like 3 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
And Matt Mask said, I'll pull the dude. That's how that happened. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll bring this show to an end. Thank you for tuning in to myself and Engin Terzi here on the Supernatural Strength channel. And I'm sure we'll see you again very, very soon. Ladies and gents, take it easy, peeps.